I'm gonna let in Ms. McCants. Okay.
Good afternoon, Ms. McCants. My name is Andrew Morgan. I'm chair of the JNC, and we're here for our afternoon interviews for the county court spot in Volusia County. Can you start by introducing yourself to the other commissioners and then tell us why you want to be a county court judge?
Sure. First of all, good afternoon. I would like to thank you all for taking this time and allow me the chance to interview. I'm truly humbled by even having this opportunity. I am originally from Alabama, a small town right outside of Birmingham, Sylacauga. I'm sure none of you have probably ever heard of that, but I'm originally from Alabama. I ended up moving to Jacksonville, Florida in 2009 to attend Florida Coastal School of Law. After graduating, that led me to my public service and my current position as assistant public defender. I want to be a judge because I feel that public service has been deeply rooted in my family and was instilled in me at a young age. Within my immediate family, both of my parents were in the military. My mom actually retired from the military prior to her passing away. I have siblings who were federal law enforcement officers. I have another sibling that also retired from the military. My grandparents were professors, school teachers, librarians. So that level of pride that I saw in them serving the community is what led me down the path that I've chosen and the reason why I'm here today. So that's one reason why I hopefully will be a judge. The second reason is I'm hoping to make a bigger impact than what I've already done as an assistant public defender. Hopefully lowering the recidivism rate. And what I would like to do as a judge is implement a specialty court, mental health court. I know other jurisdictions have it. And I know that with the proper treatment, not only can the defendants who find themselves in the criminal justice system receive that proper treatment, but I do think that it would lower recidivism, create more tax-paying citizens, and also allow for a more thriving community. So that's the second reason. The third reason I feel that I'm qualified to be a judge. I have 8 years experience as an assistant public defender. Not only do I have my own docket with Judge Schumann, I have half of a docket with her, but I'm also the misdemeanor division chief. So I oversee all of the misdemeanor attorneys. I train them in motion practice, trial practice, and I'm also the defense attorney in DUI court. So I represent all of the clients who are in DUI court, whether they initially have private counsel or not. I am a DUI court team member and I represent those clients. So I do feel that I'm qualified to be judge. The last reason is I really feel strongly that the county judges' seats should be as diverse as the people who find themselves in that judicial process. I think it's important that everyone who finds themselves before a court feel that the law will be fairly and justly applied to them. And I also think it will help boost the public perception of the judicial process. So that's a little bit about me and why I want to be a judge. I hope to make, like I said, a bigger impact and improve the community and ensure that the legal process is fair and just for everyone.
Ms. McCants, when I was reviewing your application, you know, I've known you as a public defender in Judge Tinlin's courtroom before you came down here. I was surprised that you have only had 6 jury trials.
Yes.
Especially in front of a judge that I don't foresee as somebody who would ever punish a defendant for taking a shot at a trial. So can you tell me about that? Why the number is only at 6?
Yes. I guess fortunately or unfortunately, however you choose to look at it, I had the pleasure of working with a number of assistant state attorneys, great assistant state attorneys. I started out, as you said, in St. Johns County with Judge Tinlin. I then moved to felony court in Putnam County. I worked temporarily in felony court once I got here in Volusia, and then took over the division chief position. I think that the assistant state attorneys that I had and had the pleasure to work with were very fair. As you know, maybe 90 or so percent of our cases resolve via plea. And I honestly think it's just the fairness of the prosecutors that I've dealt with. And, my clients wanted to take what they felt was the best option. And a lot of times that was a negotiated plea. I can tell you that I've prepped probably 10 times that amount of cases. As you know, you prep the cases. Sometimes clients say they want to go to trial, and then it ends up at the last minute that they want to plea. So I've prepped a number of cases well beyond the 6 that I've had. I've observed probably 10 times that as well. I know observation is not the same as actually being the actual attorney of record for that trial, but I can tell you I've prepped a number of cases and observed a number of jury trials, and also training my misdemeanor attorneys in trial practice. So although I only have that amount of trial cases, I think that I am still prepared to take this position.
Ms. McCants,
Yes.
my name is Raven Sword. Nice to meet you. As part of your application, I think this is paragraph 21, you're supposed to identify the 5 most significant cases, and you're supposed to tell us why. I don't see the why part of your response, but I'll just simply ask you, the most recent case that you cite was State versus Jackson. Apparently it was a misdemeanor case and it was in front of Judge Schuman. Why did you pick that one?
And I'm sorry, that must have been an oversight for me. So I'm sorry that I didn't include that in the application. I think that the reason why I chose that case was because it dealt with the aftermath was an issue dealing with restitution. There's an issue pending before the 5th right now in regards to that case, as well as a few others that I may have cited to in the application. The issue was whether the state was entitled to recoup victim impact, the funds that they provided to victims for relocation, things of that nature. And if the state was entitled to recoup that from our clients, what type of evidence would the state have to produce at a restitution hearing? So we had a lengthy restitution hearing. I actually had 3 cases, including that one that day. Judge Schuman certified the question to the 5th DCA. So that's the reason why I chose that one, because it was one kind of a first impression dealing with that issue, and still waiting to see what the outcome is going to be.
Okay. I have another question for you. I see that you are, I think, a board member in Child's Academy. Can you tell the commissioners about your role in that and what that organization does?
Sure. I actually got involved in that because one of my misdemeanor attorneys was actually teaching during his lunch break at that school. I got involved because he actually set up a mock trial for the students there and wanted me to help kind of facilitate that. The school is for pregnant teens. It's also for recently new mothers. The school allows for them to continue their education, and they actually graduate with a high school diploma. They're allowed to bring their children there. They have daycare on site. They also have a pre-K type of program that would allow the mothers to continue their education, while also receiving help with their children. So I initially got involved through one of my attorneys. I was then asked to be a board member, so I've supported them in making the decisions as a board member. I don't provide them with any type of legal representation. They have attorneys for that. But I also help with fundraising for those individuals so that they continue their education and hopefully be able to graduate with a high school diploma.
Okay. Now, with the county court position, you'll likely have to be up to speed on civil practice. And I understand you've done primarily all criminal work. So how would you get yourself brought up to speed to be able to cover a civil docket?
I think that I would do whatever is necessary, whether that be, the CLEs that we do. We have to do CLEs and continuing education in the criminal arena. I think that I would be able to come up to speed as quick as I did for criminal law when I initially graduated. I really wasn't sure what area of law I was going to go into, but I quickly learned what I needed to for the criminal arena. So I believe that I will be able to do the same, and whatever education is needed for that. I also know that I have connections with some great attorneys who have practiced and still practicing civil, as well as some of the judges that are currently sitting right now. So I know that I should be able to go to them for any questions as well. I'm a fast learner and I'm willing to do what it takes. If the position, I know Judge Field's position is in civil, and if that's where I will be starting, then I would make sure I am adequately prepared for that.
Ms. McCants, I had the pleasure of vetting you. I'm Charlene Matthews.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. So what motivated you to submit your application for this particular judgeship so early in your legal career?
My goal has always to be a judge. It's always been that from the beginning. I did not know the opportunity would present itself this soon, but I do feel like that I'm ready. Of course, Judge Fields, who I have as you see in my application, is one of my references. She came to me about a year and a half ago. We actually met at a potluck. Judge Schumann does a potluck every year, and you know, all of the court personnel and everybody's there. So I believe that may have been the actual first conversation that I had with Judge Fields, outside of me being in her courtroom training the misdemeanor attorneys. And she asked me what my goal was. Did I ever think about becoming a judge? And I said, well, actually, that's my goal. And she said, okay, well, these are the things that you need to do to get ready. So I didn't think that I would have the opportunity this soon, but you know, I'm going for it. You know, if it doesn't happen this time, I'm going to be persistent because I know that this is my ultimate goal, and I feel like I'm ready. So that's why I decided to put my application in now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do any other commissioners have any questions? Ms. McCants, thank you very much. I know it's a daunting process to fill out the application and then expose yourself to, you know, kind of the spotlight. So we will be deliberating at the end of our interviews today. I expect that sometime around 6 o'clock, we should be done. Are you going to be available this evening on your cell phone ending in 51?
Absolutely.
Great. So a member will call you and let you know the outcome, okay?
Okay. Well, again, just thank you for the opportunity. I'm hoping that I've answered all of your questions. I do feel strongly that I'm ready for this position, and hopefully, again, wanting to make a bigger impact than what I have thus far. So just thank you for the opportunity. It's truly been humbling. Like you said, the application process was grueling, but I've learned a lot, and just thank you for the opportunity.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Everybody